Hey traders, this is Christian from Tribeca Trade Group, and if you are watching this video, then you've recently signed up for the Tribeca Trade Group, and I'm going to just walk you through a little bit about what to expect in your membership. So a couple of things that we're going to go over is, of course, this is an intro video, so I'm going to go walk you through my background so you know a little bit about me. We're going to go through the structure of the trading room. I'm going to talk a little bit about my trading style and a lot of the trades that you'll see me basically go through, and then I will go through the platform that we use for the trading room, as well as where you can get my trade ideas, as well as the trades that I'm doing. Remember, everything that you can see at the Tribeca Trade Group, it's 100% transparency, so you can see me trade real time. You can follow along and ask questions too, and then of course at the end of the month, what I do is I report my P&L as well as the end of the year, and provide to you guys an end of month video just to let you know how the results were, and you know the monitoring and reviewing step in the process is an important one. So that said, let me get through. Of course, you know, here's our standard risk disclaimer. Everything that we do is for information purposes only. I don't give out any advice or recommendations at the Tribeca Trade Group. Everything that I'm doing is basically for information, education purposes only, and that's basically it. No advice or recommendations. So here's my background. You know, again, just quick, like 30 seconds to walk you through my background, but I am the CEO and founder of Tribeca Trade Group. My style of trading, which is basically that I learned over my trading career. I started way back, you know, before the year 2000, actually, as a financial advisor with Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter. You don't hear that name anymore because Morgan Stanley has since, for a long time now, dropped the DW, dropped the Dean Witter. But again, that kind of shows you where I came from and a little bit about my experience. But that's where I started. And then I spent a lot of my institutional trading career at Merrill Lynch. That later was bought by Bank of America. But there's really where, you know, I got a lot of my trading experience from trading on an institutional trading desk, making risk markets, facilitating block trades. You know, I was the one executing block trades for your biggest institutional institution. I was going to say institutional clients, but basically institutions, hedge funds, pension funds, those types of outfits, right? So that really kind of gave me, just to kind of go back up to this bullet point on macro and micro, to be a Delta One trader or an ETF trader, really you need to know various different types of the market, and you need to know them well. An ETF trader, you have to trade all types of areas of the market. You have to be able to trade index ETFs, sector ETFs, so sector rotation and understanding like the basket trading that goes on in ETF trading, then understanding fixed income, international, right? These are all things that give me depth and you know, can really kind of add value to you, you know, in terms of what we're seeing on a day-to-day basis with economics and some of the market reactions that we do see to news, as well as you know, economics, not just in the US but internationally. All right, so that kind of gives me a style. I do look at the macro first, and then I drill down to the micro. What you'll find is that I trade a lot of stocks. I do trade a little bit of options, but not as much as I used to. But I will basically trade options for speculative type positions for the most part. If I want to speculate on something, I'll use options to do that. But most of my trading is going to be in equities and in single name equities. Every once in a while, I will put on a sector ETF, or if I'm just looking to play the overall move and not be specific, I will, you know, trade SPY or the Qs or one of the leverage products as well. All right. I did finish third place in the U.S. Investment Championship. That should say the year 2021. I'll just put a note on that one. That was the year 2021. This is the year 2023, and I'm also signed up for the U.S. Investment Championship. That is something that is the first year that I did it was 2021, and I finished third place in the enhanced growth division. a few other things in here, my background as well. I have a little bit of a joke in here. We try to keep it light as well, always in trading, right? Trading is a serious business, but you have to kind of keep things light. When I worked on a trading desk, very, very serious job. But working with fellow traders and being light about situations kind of just helps get through the day. Sometimes days are can be long, where it's a choppy type market, so you kind of fill in some of those spaces with some of that. All right, so the Tribeca Trade Group. So why TTG? What's a little bit different about us? What are some of the things that we excel at? Well, first of all, I want every trader to learn. And I want every trader to develop their own style. Of course, you can follow along with what I'm doing and see what I'm trading and ask questions, but I really don't want traders to just be copying what I'm doing, right? I want traders to kind of, it's the old saying, right? Is to to teach traders how to fish, right? And how to make money for themselves, right? So that's one of my goals. But of course, the goal when I'm trading, of course, is risk management and ultimately making money, right? That's what we're all in the kind of the business to do, right? I'm very good, you'll find out, as observations. I like to basically stay ahead of the trend and basically find those trends very quickly. You'll find that through time, you'll find that I will pick up on things faster than a lot of, like Twitter, for example. We'll find those sector rotations and so on and so forth, right? Really, as well, what helps is to be objective, adjust to the market. You'll find that the last few years, each of them have been very different. So you kind of have to adjust. You can't be perma, right? You can't say, hey, this is going to be perma bullish or perma bearish, right? Really being objective and being cautiously optimistic about the future is really kind of where my mindset usually is. Again, you have to know when it's right to be taking off risk, but I think you still have to be optimistic about the long term, right? We're not pessimistic here. Another thing is, like, I do the homework for you, right? I spend a lot of time, once the market is closed, doing research. I do a lot of scanning. I'm constantly looking at the new high list or areas that are breaking out, right? And that just is developing watch lists. We do things like during earnings season, which we're actually just coming upon. I develop a watch list for you because a lot of times those will be could be the market leaders for the next quarter, depending on how earnings season goes. I use my own technical trading system. I will get into that, but there's various webinars that you can listen to. We do have some information and docs on that where you can find out about the TTG market webs. It is a volume at price trading system. I'm not going to go into details here because I'm going to bring up a couple of things that you can research on your own in the trading room, and that's very important, right? If you're paying for a membership, make sure that you spend the time and get acquainted to some of the resources that we do have, and I'll walk you through a couple of those areas. But basically, bottom line is the TTG Market Web's trading system helps me be a disciplined trader, right? It allows someone, of course, you have to click the mouse, but it's a very disciplined trading system. I call it a roadmap for the price action, right? And of course, transparency, which I think I've already mentioned. I do report my results either to the U.S. Investment Championship if I'm in that contest for the year, and I also put that out on Twitter every month, and I discuss it in the trading room. In fact, I put together an end of month video where I go over all my all my results, and I go through the positives and the negatives. Again, that review process is very important. We want to improve every quarter, or excuse me, every week, every month, every quarter. And if you're not reviewing what you're doing, it's very hard to kind of complete that step, right? And of course, our trading room is collaborative, right? I encourage traders to post their setups and their ideas. One of the things that I like to do is, kind of the more robust trading room that we have, the better it is for everybody. So you'll see me every once in a while. If a trader puts together a really good trade idea, you'll see me. I'll take that trade, right? And and that's really the case of what we're doing on a day-to-day basis. I'm funneling a bunch of different ideas, and I'm only going to take what I think are the best ideas, right? So I'll look at option flow, right? I'll look at technicals. I'll look at all different types of ideas, and I'll only execute the ones that I think make up the best, right? And that's a big point about option flow, because I will from time to time post option flow in the trading room, but that doesn't mean, out of the option flow has to agree with my system. Okay. All right, and just the technology that I do use Bloomberg. I do use two different option systems that are scanners, right? I use Zoom, that's for the live trading rooms, which you'll hear about in just a second, the live trading sessions. Slack is basically our trading room, and I'll give you a breakdown of those channels, which certainly I can do that right now. And of course, I use Twitter as well. So let's bring that up. If I can get out of there, we go. All right. So a little bit about our trading room, right? And there's a couple things that I'm going to point you to, but you could see pinned up here on the top, and it'll look a little bit different on your mobile, right? So you could use Slack for both desktop and mobile, as I do, but a couple things on the desktop, because it's a little bit harder to get to these things on the mobile version. But here's the link to get into the live trading session, right? The times that we have trading sessions is right around 9:10 in the morning, right? So I do 20 minutes pre-market commentary, and of course you can ask questions. You can if you have any chart requests, you can add them into our chat there, and I will take them. And that's in Zoom. So again, that's from 9:10 to 9:30 every morning. And I'm going through, what some of the key events are for the day, as well as what I'm watching, chart setups, and any other events that we have. So that's every morning. Here's the link where you get that. Again, it's in the top, and I'll say it's pins to the top of this trading room channel. Again, see the one that I've got highlighted and the menu on the left. Those are all the different channels that you get access to. The trading room is where all the dialogue happens and the back and forth. You could see different traders posting in here right now. Also, make sure that you read the TTG rules and etiquette, right? These things are very important. There's no political talk. There's no, there's a whole bunch of things. All right. Generally the rules are as well is that, that you have to post your trade entry and exit. I'm not going to get mad at you, if you made a really good trade and you forgot to post the entry, that's fine. We want to see, different trades in the room and so forth. But, if you're consistently trading, please try to post the entry as well, right? Because that makes the whole experience important for everybody, right? For all the traders that are in the room. Of course, you can't recruit or solicit other traders for other rooms, so there's no talking about other trading rooms, and that's just general respect, right? But I think everybody knows that. But please read through all the rules and etiquette. That's again, you're going to see some other resources. Here's the channel guide in here, which will tell you about all the channels, which I'm going to walk you, like I said, I'm going to walk you through a couple of them. I should be able to click on this. For whatever reason it's not, but it's not letting me click on that. All right, and then there's some other things here to click on too. I'm not going to go through every single thing because I don't want the video to be too long. So let me go through a couple of the channels that are most important. So first of all, I'm always going, what you'll find is that this trading room channel will get clogged up because traders are, this is after hours. There's a few jokes that people are doing, but during the day, it gets difficult to find things, right? You could see how active it is during the day. So I will always post anything significant that I think, or something that I want to talk about, or how the day is going, rolling along. You also see that I'll have these audio market updates updates, right, that I'll talk about, basically somewhere in the first hour of the trading day. I'll talk about what we're seeing, if we're seeing some type of rotation, which we were today, and any really intense option flow, and other themes of the day, right? So you may see me do that a couple times in the day. If it's a dull day, you may only see me do one or two of these audio files. All right, so that's the CF commentary, right? And you'll see over the weekend too, right? In the morning, one of the things that I will do is give you levels on the S&P, the NASDAQ, or the Qs, NASDAQ futures, Russell futures, which is similar to IWM, right? And what bonds are doing. Every morning I'm putting this commentary. Sometimes it's very light, but notice I'm using 2 time frames, right? To give you, we use multiple time frame analysis with the TTG market webs. So I will be providing that with you, and then other themes, right? That you could basically see. I do provide this TTG out of the box. You'll hear more about that in the trading room, which is a list of areas that are breaking out. Here's our weekend watch list. And again, you'll see these every morning that we go through. I'll talk about a whole bunch of things, and then over the weekend, you'll see I'll put together other notes. All right, so that's the CF commentary. That's, again, as it says, with my initials on it and my commentary. Charts, right? This will get populated during the trading session when I see option activity, or if there's a particular idea, or if there's a trade that I just got into, you will see it followed by a chart. You'll see if I just got into a trade, I'll post it both to the trading room as well as to the charts channel, right? Just in case if you're not in the room all day long, or if you're a part-time trader, and you see me get into a trade and you're like, oh geez, I don't even know what that, I don't know where the chart is. If you go into the charts channel, you'll be able to find it relatively quickly. All right, that's during the day. And then also at night, if I'm going through and if I'm scanning, and if there's anything that kind of jumps off the page to me, I will put the setup. Like, for instance, I think this morning, right, I put a setup in Melly, and that's something that I had talked about in the live session today, right? And this had a nice move, right? And this is kind of what I mentioned, I didn't really get into my trading style too much, but ultimately I'm a trend trader, right? If you've read the book, how I made $2 million in the stock market, that's Darvis, right? Darvis has his own system. We're using that box system as well, but we have our system is more significant because we're using volume at price, right? But it's a very similar, that's a good book to read. It's some of the things some of the principles that I really follow, in terms of, watching things go from, out of something that's in an uptrend, right? Go from, consolidation to breaking out to its next level, right? That's a trade that you'll see me play a lot. I mentioned trend trading, right? There's some great books on trend trading. There's Trend Following by Covell. There's also the Turtle Traders, but you'll mainly only see the 80% of what I do is trade uptrends, right? For going long, right? You'll find that even chart requests, when people ask me for a chart request, if the name is trading below the 200-day moving average, I'm probably not going to trade it. If I'm going to take a shot at something that I think is kind of, maybe coming out of a long base and is still technically in a downtrend, I'll probably do it with options, because in options, I can only lose the premium, right? Names that are below the 200-day moving average or are trending lower, I don't really want to be a part of those names, right? I've learned over time to stick to uptrends, stick to names, stick to leaders. Those are typically where I'm going to do the majority of my trading. So again, if you're looking for someone to try to pick bottoms in stocks or make predictions, then that's not what we do at Tribeca Trade Group, right? We follow along. We follow along with trends. There's nobody ever knows how long a trend is going to last, although all kinds of people like to make predictions, right? A trend will last as long as it wants to last, right? And we try to exploit trends in the marketplace, whether it's in stocks, whether it's in commodities, whether it's in basically anything. All right. So I went through a couple channels with you guys, charts, and then of course trades, self-explanatory. These were my trades for the day. You can also put alerts. There's a channel guide in here. There's no typing by anybody, and by the way, in this channel, but if you go through the I think there's a online member area, and you can put alerts, right? One of the requests that I get from members is, hey, I want a notification, like, you know, like a Twitter notification when you get into a trade. You can set up an alert and it will hit your phone basically whenever I type in this trade channel, right? And you can do that for multiple channels, but but I would say, you know, put it on for trades if that's something that you like, and then you can experiment with putting notifications on other channels. Member channel is self-explanatory. News is self-explanatory. You'll find that I'll be publishing that throughout the trading session, but really in the morning, right? If there's any broker notes that are really important, you know, upgrades, downgrades, that type of thing, but you know, anything that's really, you know, has a lot of analysis behind it, I'll also post that in the news channel. All right, TTG portfolio, I also run besides my trading account. All of these trades are in my trading account. That's the majority of what I'm doing. That's the results that I'll post to you every month. But I also have the TTG trend portfolio, right? And this is based on, it's a portfolio. It's more for long, I don't want to say longer term investing, but we are trying to find longer term trends in here. This right now, the portfolio is about 35 names, and you can follow along with that. I post the link to the portfolio as well. I trade this through M1 Finance because it allows me to do portfolio rebalancing. So often, you know, I'll do a rebalance in this portfolio once, maybe a week, or if not, once every 2 weeks. And I'll usually do something like this. I'll put in 3 names and I'll take out 2 names. Like here was the rebalance before. I added 2 names, removed 2 names, all right, and did an adjustment. All right. So you can find more about that in here as well as the website. All right, so I think I covered enough of these channels, but again, trading room is where you kind of get started, right? You can also private message me any questions that you have. So pre-market commentary, just to give you a sense of what the day is like. I mentioned that already. Trading, I will do both swing and day trading. My bread and butter is swing trading, but if the market is really volatile, you'll find that I'll do more day trading in those environments than swing. But if the environment is normal, you know, right now, let's say the VIX is around 20 or under 20, you'll find that I may do 1 day trade a day, and you know, I'll be adjusting my portfolio. You will get a portfolio sheet too, end of day recap. That's something that you'll get with all the, like a summary of the trades, as well as what I'm currently holding in my trading account portfolio. Process, we already talked about being a trend trader. It lets me be objective. I follow price, right, more than anything else. I will follow some other signals and indicators, but ultimately I'm following price on a day-to-day basis, right? And of course, I'm watching the tape and looking for ideas during the day. While the market is closed, I'm coming up with ideas. I think that's all I wanted to cover. The weekend, what I try to do is also give you guys a weekend video, not every single weekend, but I will try to do that, as well as a watch list to start the week. It will look something, right now it will look something like this. If I can find this really quickly. It will look something like this, right? And it is linked up to not to Bloomberg, but to Google. And during the week, what I'll do is I will provide, you know, some commentary in terms of like how that list is doing, right? And again, it's basically a starting point for the week. As the week gets going, we will provide, you know, I'll provide more trading setups and so forth. But again, I like to do that homework over the weekend, and then be ready for the week. You know, for example, if we see option activity, right, I know what the setup looks like. I know what I'm looking for. And sometimes that option activity can reinforce what I'm looking for. All right, and the last thing I'll mention too is, in addition to the pre-market sessions, I'll also from time to time do a midday video. You'll get one most days of the week, and they'll usually run around like 7 to 12 minutes on average. In addition to these market updates, which are quick, they're usually like only a minute or two. I will provide that midday video where you can basically get the themes, as well as one video during the week will be a little bit longer. Right now I am doing a Q&A session on Friday as well. So any kind of open forum to any questions that you guys have before the weekend. But I will spend one day where I will review position by position, letting giving you an update on all my open positions. All right. So that is it. Thanks for watching. And again, welcome aboard. Excited to have you aboard. And if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to either drop me an email or private message me in Slack. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the trading room.